This is your beloved Minister Austin Smith with ZMR Radio on the Wake Up Call. Wake up. Wake up. It's high time. We do always rise, giving all the kabod and all the kabod to the Most High Yah, there is being Yahusha HaMashiach. I'm excited. Once again, the excitement always comes as soon as we hit that action button. The excitement comes because it's truly a privilege and an honor to be before you all, to be able to bring forth the debar, to be able to bring forth the words of life, words of just words of comfort. Matter of fact, go ahead and get me Romans chapter 15:4. We'll see how we go today. Listen to the book.
For whatever was written before
The things that proceeded before now. That's right.
was Nikatab to teach us.
It was written to teach us how to be like Yahuah and Yahusha. So these things were written to give us information. Information gives us an ability. And that ability was for us to become like who, AJ? To become like Yahuah and Yahushua. Come on.
So that through patience
going through things and not giving up, not quitting,
and through the Nakum
through the comfort
of the Kitabim,
of the writings.
we might have Tikva.
We might have accord, we might have hope, might have an opportunity. And we quote that a lot, but the reality of it is even when a preacher will do it, and the kids will call back and, they'll call out, and whatsoever things are written aforetime, proceeded before now. They will talk about the writings. We talk about what they were written to do, how they were given to be able to help us to endure and go through situations without fainting and without giving way. Before the broadcast started, I sung a little bit of that persecution and tribulation. But realistically, that's what we all gonna go through. We all gonna go through some sort of persecution, some sort of tribulation. But the reality of it is not so much avoiding it, but what do you do after it comes? And we said that it was given to give us endurance. That's going through without quitting. So the thing is every time that a situation happens and we quit and we falter and we faint, we've just failed what it is that we were called to do. And the only reason why we can get the failure is from what? Not using the writings. Because the failure is not going to be in the writings. The failure is going to be in us not using it properly. Yeah. Get me the 14th chapter of the book of Acts of the Shalakim. We'll start at 14:1. Other brother, get me, probably take too long. We'll just stay there for now. Give me that Acts chapter 14 and verse 1. Listen to the book.
And it came to pass
in
Iconium that they entered together into the house of the synagogue, which was of the Yahudim, and spoke there, so that a great number of both of Yahudim and of Yuanim Aman.
So they were there at the synagogue, and there were a great multitude of the Yahudim and the Greeks. The other word he used, that was the original name for the Greeks. Listen to.
But the Yahudim who did not Aman stirred up the Nephash of the Guim and embittered them against the Akim.
So the thing is, let's look at this. When they went into where did they go? They went to the synagogue. And there was a great multitude of who? Of both the Yahudim and of the Yuin, which is the Greeks. So now, who was it that came in to stir up the people of the non-believers? They were the Yahudim that didn't believe. He didn't tell you the Greeks weren't the problem. It was the who? Who was it that stirred them up? Aki Deval.
But the Yahudim who did not Aman stirred up the Nephash of the Guim and embittered them against the Akim.
So this is the thing. A lot of times, you look at what are the things that come in to cause us to deviate. A lot of times, you know what, matter of fact, he told you evil communication corrupts good manner. A lot of people will quote that and they'll try to use that to condemn profanity. And that's not what it was talking about at the time, but more so the sense of when people come in, they try to give you information opposite of that which you've been told. People try to give you things to stir you up, to cause you to deviate from that proper course of behavior that you've been given. Those are the people that you need to separate yourself from. Because the whole purpose of, why would I be going to the synagogue? To be taught, to be given information. So now, instead of me getting information prevalent to salvation, what did I get? Other people stirred me up and caused me to go off and do something opposite. They caused me to go against the Akim. Why? Because I didn't have myself minded that despite whatever you do, I know what my purpose is. I know what I'm here for. I have a goal set in mind, and I make sure that I don't fail, and I don't fail and miss the mark that I've been called to walk up to. Come on.
So they remained, many Yamim there, learned, and the wrath of Yahuah that attests to the debar of his Khan in doing so by their hands with signs and with wonders. The crowd of the city was divided, and some sided were with the Yahudim, and some with the Shalakim.
So now the crowd began to become divided. You got two different people on two different sides. That's just like when we talked about it before in the book of Matthew, when he told you, how did he tell you he wanted you to love him? With all your heart, with all your mind. And the thing is that the reality of it is, though they naturally divided the people, a lot of times what come in and divide us is information. Just like you look at the book of, in the book of Barashit, the 11th chapter of the book of Barashit, when they went in to build the Tower of Babel. Matter of fact, go ahead and give me that 11th chapter of the book of Barashit. Probably change course a little bit, but we'll see if we can't work it back around. For the sake of time, I might read just a little bit faster for you. But it'll be along the bottom, y'all willing. And then we'll call that as we're going. So feel free to go back and check it. Check it. The reality of it is, even if you know it, it's a value. You need to go back and check it and make sure that the things that you're hearing are just whether they're so. Because the thing is, I could be giving you something false. If I'm giving you something that don't line up according to the Kit the Beam, just to show they shouldn't have let those other people influence them, you don't let me influence you. The thing is that's the whole purpose of making sure that when you got a preacher, he's preaching according to the writings. Because whatsoever things were written were given to teach you. So now, if I'm teaching you, but I'm not giving you the writings, I'm not lining up. I got to go back. Everything that I'm giving you has to line up with the writings. Because the writings were given to do what? To teach us how to be like him. So I can't do that on my own. I got to use what he gave us. Come on. Listen to the book. Matter of fact, you know what you got to use? You got to use the tools appropriately. That's what the debar is. The debar is a tool. Come on.
Now the whole of Rots was of one language and the same words.
So the thing is if they told you that the unbelieving Yahudim came in and stirred up the people and caused them to come against the Akim, that would mean that before they did that, they couldn't have been against them. Influence caused them to become against them. So before they came in and somebody else influenced them, we could say that it was just like they were of one language. And what was the alarm? In the 11th chapter of the book of Barashit, they called the book of Genesis.
Now the whole of Rots was of one language and the same words. It came about as they journeyed from the Kadim that they found a plain in the land of Shinar and settled there.
Matter of fact, they were all with the same words. That's why he told us to speak the same thing, be perfectly joined together with the same mind. We're supposed to be speaking the same. They're supposed to have the understanding of the same. They have to be minded with the same mind. That's why he told us. He told us to let this mind be in you, which is also in Mashiach Yahusha. You know why? Because if we all have that mind, then we won't keep deviating. If you have a perfect mind, then you can achieve perfection. That's why he kept referencing everything back to him. That's why in the Yahuah, he said, search the Kit the Beam. In them, you think you got eternal life, but these are they which testified me. But then guess what I did? I gave you the writings. So now if all the writings were about me, then why did I give them to you? So you can become like me. Come on.
And each one said to his neighbor, come, let us make bricks and burn them thoroughly.
So now because we all have the same language and we can all understand each other, I say, hey, listen, not only do we have the same language, but come on, let's arm ourselves with the same purpose. Come on.
And it was the brick to them for stone, and it was the asphalt to them for mortar.
So now, not only do we have a goal, and we know what we're going to use to achieve that goal. They said we're going to use the bricks for who? We're going to use the bricks for stone, and what else are they going to use?
And it was the asphalt to them for mortar.
And the asphalt became to be mortar for them. So now, not only do I have something that's solid, I have something solid I can use for defense, for structure, but I also had to use something else to join those solid things together. That's the same thing even with us. We are natural men and women, but guess what comes in to join us together? The debar. So that debar is just like the asphalt. That asphalt comes in with us so that way when situations and circumstances happen, one, you can't come in and enter in because I have a defense there. Just like we talk about the Ak. You know what the Ak is? That's a strong wall. That's the Ak and the Akuth. These are all strong walls of defense, so you can't come in and penetrate me because there's a defense there. And now, if we just stack them on top of each other, I can easily knock it down. We just be a bunch of people together with no same purpose. But because we have the writings, what is that just like? That's just like the asphalt. Mm-hmm. So now the solid things are all joined together, so now you can't come in and penetrate me. Come on.
They said, come, let us build for ourselves a city and a tower with its top to the Shamayim, and let us make for ourselves a name. Otherwise,
matter of fact, he said the top of it was going to be where?
In the Shamayim.
In the Shamayim. What's the place that we all trying to get to? The Shamayim. So it's almost like if we join ourselves together with that same writing, guess what we can make it to? We can make it to the Shamayim. We can get a true elevation. Come on.
And let us make for ourselves a Shem. Otherwise,
let us make for ourselves a name. So now the thing is, the reason why you would get a name is because you now have a reputation. That's really what your name come down to being, is your reputation. When people hear my name, what do they associate with my name? Just like why Yahuah told him, he said, I'm Yahuah, your Elohim, which did what? Which brought you out of the land of Mizraim. Guess what? Everybody knew what he had done. So despite the fact that whether you knew his name or not, guess what you're going to know him by? His characteristics. You're going to know by the action that he demonstrated and he displayed. So the thing is guess how he knows you? By your actions and your characteristics that you display. Now, what does he say when he sees your name? That's why he told you your name got to be written on high. How do I get my name written on high? Based off the action and the things that I put out. Based off the things that come out from me. Come on.
Otherwise, we shall be scattered abroad over the...
So if we don't be joined together, if we don't build this tower and we don't get this name, we're going to be what?
Scattered abroad.
You're going to be scattered abroad. That's why all his people are going to be joined together with him. All those that are not joined together with him are going to be scattered. That's why Yahusha told him, he said that if any man don't gather with me, guess what he's doing? He scattereth abroad. Because everybody who's not joined together with me, everybody who's not joined with that same mind, you scattered. The wind, everything blowing you around, the wind blowing you around, situations blowing you around, that's the same thing that happened to us. If we're not joined together, we're just going to be scattered. Come on.
Over the face of the Arats, the whole Arats. Yahuah came down to see the city and the tower which the Benim of Anashim had built. Yahuah said, behold, they are one people, and they all have the same language. And this is what they began to do. And now nothing shall be restrained from them, all which they have imagined to do.
He said that if they all have the same language and they all have the same mind, they be joined together with the same mind, nothing's going to be withheld from them. This is Yahuah telling you this. He's telling you this about natural men and women. That if we be joined together, so that's the whole purpose of why things try to come in, why Satan will try to come in and cause us to be separated from each other. Because what will happen if we be joined together? Come on.
Come, let us go down there and confuse their language so that they shall not understand one another's speech. So Yahuah scattered them abroad from there over the face of the whole Arats, and they stopped building the city. Therefore, its Shem was called Babel, because there Yahuah confused the language of the whole Arats.
So guess what happened? When they were all speaking the same thing, they all had the same information and they would communicate, we were all joined together. But now when things come in and cause us to be separated, cause our minds to not be joined together, we start to lose our value of having each other. That's why we'll be so easy to fight against each other, to argue with each other, have hatred towards each other, is because we're not minded with the fact of, where you trying to go? Shamayim, you want to get your name? That's the same thing I want to get. So I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let us be joined together. We'll go together. We'll build together. And we can create that. We can get ourselves a name. We can get ourselves a good reputation. But when you don't know that, you allow things to come in and separate you, and you be scattered abroad. And you constantly wonder in your mind, oh, man, why is like we can't never accomplish nothing? Why is like things don't ever work out for us? Let's see. Are we using what we've been given? We've already seen what happens when we're not joined together, but yet and still what we do, we allow it to keep happening. So now we don't even use the word, the reason for why it came. Jump back over and get me back over at that 14th chapter of the book of Acts of the Shalakim. What verse I had you at?
Verse 5.
Listen to the book.
But when an attempt was made by them, the Goim and the Yahudim, with their rulers, to mistreat them and to stone them, they became aware of it and fled to the cities of Luconia, Lystra, and Derbe, and the surrounding country.
So now the same people that we came into the synagogue, at first, but now they're against me. They want to attack me. They want to try to kill me and stone me. I got to get out of here. I got to escape for my life. Come on.
They were preaching the tube news there.
They were preaching a what?
The tube news there.
They were preaching good news to people. But the thing is because you don't even know what it is I'm giving you, because you don't understand the value of what I'm giving you, you think it's something to come and hurt you. I came to give you good news, and you try to fight me. You want to kill me because I'm giving you good news. I'm giving you information prevalent to salvation. That's the same thing that happened. That's the same thing that happened now. When the true preacher comes forward to bring you the word, you fight it, and you feel like you're just attacking me. You let people come in and persuade you and make you believe that the preacher's trying to give you something to hurt you, when the reality is I'm giving you good news. Right. What better news if I tell you, if you take this right here and you can get eternal life, what you got better than that? Right. That's the best news you can get, especially when you look at it and you examine your present situation. What news is it better than something that can come in and deliver you? Right. That just like talk about the Emancipation Proclamation. I think they said the last slave to be freed was on Juneteenth. Right, so that's why they had the celebration of Juneteenth. Would it have made sense for a slave to be on the plantation and I tell you, hey, listen, they done wrote something, and though we were all in bondage at one time, now we all free. Get out of here, nigga. Get out of here, nigga. Why would I tell you to get out of here? You giving me something good. You've now told me that something can deliver me from my situation. If I know that my situation is something that's been against me, it's never been something to help me, why would I think that you coming to give me deliverance would be the thing that coming to hurt me? But that's what happened. That's what happened to them. They came to give them the good news, but they fought them. Come on.
In Lystra, there was sitting underneath a certain Ish, disabled in his regal, lame from his aim womb, who had not walked during all his Yamin. This one heard Shaul speaking, who looking intently at him and seeing that he had Amunah to be healed, said with a loud voice, stand upright on your regal.
He told him he had what to be healed?
Amunah.
He had Amunah to be healed. So the thing is he said he was looking intently because the man was speaking. Now, how do we come in and begin to get Amunah? Amunah come by hearing. So the thing is you've been hearing all this time, and yet you've not been healed. So what did the lack come in? It's your lack of amunah. You've been hearing the word, and the word of truth has been given to you, but because you have not mixed it with your amunah, you haven't used it to be able to create amunah, you don't be able to get the value out of it. That's why you're still lame. That man hadn't walked. That's why the writing told you, furthermore, as you receive of us, how you do what? How you ought to walk, so that you can do what? So that way you can please Elohim. So the thing is that man was looking, and he was hoping to do what? I was hoping to walk, and that hope came through by the writings. Yeah. Just like from whatsoever things when Nika taught before time. That's what he was talking. That's what he had been communicating. And based off of him believing what it was that he heard, he believed, okay, I can take on healing. And what happened through his Amunah?
Said with a loud voice, stand upright on your regal.
He told him, he said, stand up and walk. Stand up on your feet. Stand up, son. Something came in to cause you to be able to stand. You have been down for so long, but now I'm giving you something to help you to be able to stand. Yeah. Come on.
And he leaped up and halak.
You know, the thing is it didn't even tell you that he just stood up slowly. He didn't take his time. You know what it is? You know why he would have leaped? Because of belief, and because of the fact that I've been down for so long. This is something I've been waiting on. I've been waiting on something to come in and help me to be able to stand. I've been waiting on something to come in and help me be delivered from my situation. He told you that he was lame from the time he was born. He had never walked. He had never achieved that true level of perfection. But now something has been given to me to help me to achieve a higher state. So now I'm leaping. There's an excitement when I come in and hear the word. You know why? Because now I can walk. Now I know I can stand. So when things happen against me, guess what? I'll be just like that strong wall. That stuff don't move me. I'm standing. I'm planted on something. Come on.
When the crowd of armed saw what Shaul had done, they lifted up their voices, speaking in the Lucanith language, saying, the mighty ones in the form of men have come down to us.
He told you that the mighty ones in the form of men have come down to us. Matter of fact, you know what Yahuah told Musha he was going to be? He said you was going to be Elohim. And he said that Aharon was going to be your Nabah. Guess what happened when they heard the good news? You know what they said? Elohim done came down with us. Now these people have now gotten a what? They got a name based upon what? Based upon demonstration of their actions. Come on. Mind you, that's not even what I wanted. But the thing is, it just makes so much sense. The way he, come on, ain't nobody better at doing it. Come on, listen to the book.
They called Barnabas Jupiter and called Shaul.
So now they begin to give them names of their Elohim. They call him Jupiter, and what else?
And called Shaul Hermes because he was the Rosh speaker. The Kohan.
Because he was the chief speaker. So now they begin to give them names of their Elohim. They begin to give them names of their mighty ones. Come on.
The Kohan of the Beth of Jupiter, being in the front of the city, brought oxen and wreaths to the gates, and he wanted to offer sacrifice with the crowd of the armed.
He wanted to do what?
Offer sacrifice with the crowd.
I want to offer sacrifices now. That's how great I think you men are. Because you guys are bringing forth the debar. You guys caused the man who never walked to be able to jump up and leap and be able to walk now. Come on.
And it came to pass, when the Shalakim, Barnabas, and Shaul heard this, they tore their garments and ran into the arm, crying out. Crying out and saying, Anashim, why are you doing this? We are also Benim of Anashim, passionate like yourselves, bringing the tube news to you that you should turn from these worthless matters to a Kai Elohim, who made.
So matter of fact, you know what? What was the name that they gave him? They gave the name to their Elohim. So now they telling him, really what you should have done was recognize the works that I do, they not by the worthless Elohim that you got. I'm trying to turn you and show you works by a true and a living Elohim, a true and a living mighty one, so that way you might turn and be converted. Come on.
Who made the Shamayim and the Arats and the Yam.
That's why if you look at a lot of stuff, you go back and you look up stuff, everything is always tied over to try to denote relationships to foreign Elohim, to foreign mighty ones, to idolatry. You know why? Because they're looking for things to try to give credibility to the things that they have. And they don't make the things based off of their Elohim. They take things that have already been established and name it after their Elohim. So the thing is, you know why? So that when you look at it, you be like, oh, that's this? Okay, so it makes it like their stuff is validated. When the reality of it is the one true and living Elohim, I created all these things. All these things were made by my hands. So while they try to use things to denote them, I use my action to denote me. Come on.
And all that is in them, who in past Tuledoth allowed all the nations to go in their own ways. Though indeed,
Give me Romans chapter 8 and 18. Go ahead, Akidaval.
Though indeed he did not leave about himself without a testimony, doing tube, giving us rain from the Shamayim.
So he's telling you that he didn't leave himself without something to testify to his credibility. Yahuah did not just say, hey, he didn't just make everything and just leave. I left something for you to be able to look back at it and say, that came from him. Based upon me knowing how everything was created and based off me knowing his actions, I know when I see certain things happen, that's him. That's him. So when things happen against me, I recognize, okay, just like Iyub told you, shall we receive tube of Elohim only? That's why he told Iyub also told you, Yahuah giveth and Yahuah taketh away. What did he tell you about his Shem? Barak would be the Shem of Yahuah. So the thing, matter of fact, he told you Barak who? Barak the Shem. You know why? Because based off of the thing that he had done, what he had gotten, he got himself a name. So I Barak his name based upon his actions. So every time I see his actions, whether it be good or whether it be evil, in my eyes, I recognize and I realize it all came from him. So despite how I may feel about the situation, Barak would be his Shem. Because the same one that put me in this situation is the only one that can deliver me. That's why, because what did he tell them? He said he was trying to turn them to the who? To the true and the living Elohim. Come on. So matter of fact, I'd be a fool to keep looking at things that can't help me and benefit me. If I know where my trouble comes from, then what I need to do? I need to look to him to be my deliverer, because none can deliver out his hands. He the most powerful one there is. Come on.
Doing good, giving us rain from the Shamayim, and Pari, bearing seasons, filling our lob with food and gladness.
That's right.
Even with these Dabarim, with great labor, they restrained the arm from offering to them. But Yahudim came there from Antiochia and from Iconium and persuaded the arm. They stoned Shaul with stones and dragged him out of the city.
So now, despite the fact that I started off, I've been giving you good news from the start. You fought me. I came back and you see me do great works and you fought me again. And now you want to kill me. That's the same thing that happened with us. You know how many times, you know how much people have had, we can naturally see that. We see people that come in, Preach talked about it last night. He was talking about how people have come in and when they first hear the word, it's this great love for them. Oh man, Preacher, I want to come in. And just as much as they were trying to offer up sacrifices to them, guess what happened? That's the same thing that we initially come in with that passion of, oh man, listen, I want to be here so bad, I'll do whatever it takes. I'll sleep outside. I'll sleep in the homeless shelter. I'll sleep in my car. It don't even matter. I'll sleep outside the synagogue and just wait for service to come in because you initially come in with that excitement of, listen, I'll do whatever because I value it that much. But then what happens when the correction comes? We falter and we faint. We look at it like, oh, man, I just came from the word, man. I didn't come for all that. But guess what? Even when I'm coming through to give you the correction, I'm giving you the word. Because all scripture was given by who? By the inspiration of Elohim. It was profitable. So the thing is this is what you look at. Profit is something that I gained from. So if he was given for profit, right? Then what else he told you that the word would do? For instruction? For correction. So it's almost like even when I get corrected, when correction is not something that feels good. Correction feels grievous in its time, but yet the thing that come in to buffet me is still for my profit. How do I gain from a loss? Because the thing is, you know what? Let's do something real quick. I want to show you something that you can naturally see. Because I think a lot of times what happens is we hear the word, but without being able to see how the word works, we don't let it work. And that's the unfortunate part about it is because of ignorance, because of not having proper information, we'll start to lose the value of it. So this is the thing. Everything that was given, right? All the writings that were given were written to teach us, to show us how to be like who? Yahuah and Yahushua. Okay. And what do we know about Yahuah and Yahushua? They perfect. That's the answer I wanted. All right. So now, regardless of what it is that happens, regardless of whether the word is coming in to build me up or whether at the time it's coming in to correct me. So these are things I'm coming in to be chastised by. Guess what? It all come back to equal. If it come back to make me perfect, then it worked. Then it accomplished its goal. But the reality of it is this is what happened to us. Aki Dan, you mind if I borrow you for a second? He's good at math. Come on up here. Come on up here. Let's do this. I tell you what, when you go into school and you get a grade, matter of fact, come on up here, Aki Daniel. Come on up. Give that brother a hand clap. Come on, clap. Yeah! Yeah! If I'm doing an assignment, right, in your class, because you're an educator, what's the highest grade I can get on an assignment? 100. All right. All right. So we got 100. That's the best grade I can get, right? But let's say so 100. Let's say 100 is our goal that we want to get to. Not 100%, but the number 100. So if I take the number, somebody give me a number, any number. 7. 7. So how far away am I at 7? If I start at 7, how far away am I from 100? 93. I'm 93 away. Okay. So let's write the number 93. So we got the number 93. Somebody give me another number. Go ahead, Deuce. 92. So guess what now we have? Now we have, instead of adding 92, guess what's going to happen? We're going to take away 92. So now I look at it and I say, man, where I thought I was going to achieve, something came in and now I'm losing again. So you know what that'll naturally make us do? We'll quit. And you know what we'll say? I ain't going to ever get there. But look how far I have between where I am and where I'm trying to go. And so instead of us looking at it and saying, I still have the time to achieve that level. The end of the semester hasn't come. This is not my final grade. I get stuck on the fact of, well, I haven't got to the 100 yet, instead of focusing on the fact of, I still am being given an opportunity to still work up to achieving that perfect 100. So now the thing is All I got to do is add what? 94. I think it was 94. 94 more. I'm 94 away. No, I'm 93. 92. 92, you're right. Here we go. All I need is another 92. So now the thing is I can keep plussing and minusing as long as I get to what? As long as I get to 100. So regardless of what it is that happens, regardless of how it looks in your eyes, whether it look like, if I just look at this right here and I say, I lost 92. I'm so stuck on losing 92 that I don't look at the fact that I still equal out to 100. But you know what I'll say? Nah, I want to get that 92 too. So, you know, and even when preacher talk about stuff, and he talked about all the money that he's lost. Guess what? Let's say he give him back this right here, right? So now what does he have? If 100 is perfect, what do I have if I keep adding and I never take the loss? I'll get over that. And you know what? And that's not over like, oh yeah, I'm better. I missed what it is I've been called to. I didn't get called to get whatever this is. I've only been called to get 100. So the thing is, guess what? The things that you plus, the things that get added to you, the things that get taken away from you, they might look different from what get added and taken away from you. But guess what? He subtracted 92 from me, but that's because of where I was at, right? He might subtract 87 from you. He might subtract 172 from you. You know why? Based upon where you at. But if despite the things that you lose, despite the things that get added to you, guess what? If we all get here, then we all become one. We all become united because guess what? They told you, let us all join together to build a tower to do what? To get the Shalmaim so that we can get a name. They weren't talking about them all getting their own individual name. They wanted to get one name for themselves, one name for the people. So now we look at, if we're minded for the fact of this is for us, then I don't have to worry about me so much. I don't have to worry about me and say, well, I want to be added the way you added. I want to, say, why I had to lose so much? Based upon the person, he said, don't make me too rich. Did I do what? That I forget you. He said, don't make me too poor. Did I do what? That I steal and I deny you. So the thing is there is a perfect balance that comes into when you being Tamim. It's a balance to it. That's why everything was about weights and balances, because it's all become to be a balance of the perfect man. That's why we all trying to get up to that perfect measure. He kept giving us mathematical terms how we can look at it. You can see, okay, mathematically, I look at it, I can have things added and things take away, but if I get to 100, I didn't lose. Right. I've achieved what it is that what my mind was set it out to do. That's right. But if I get so stuck on the signs, I get so stuck on the signs and how things look that I forget the end goal. Yeah. And now I've lost. Come on, what verse you at?
The end of 19.
The end of 19. Matter of fact, go ahead, keep reading a little bit. I get ready to read me that 8th chapter of the book of Romans.
Yes, and dragged him out of the city so that they thought him to be moot. Mm-hmm. But
they beat the man down. This man that they were just worshiping, they were just trying to offer a zabak to. We gave you the names of our Elohim, our mighty ones. Now we beat you so bad, look like you're dead. Come on.
But while the Talmudim gathered around him,
While the who?
The Talmudim.
What's the Talmudim? That's the taught ones. So the ones that had been taught were gathered around him. Come on.
He rose up.
He rose up and told them what?
And went into the city.
Uh-huh.
And on the morrow, he went away with Barnabas to Derbe. Mm-hmm. And having brought the tube news to that city.
Having brought the who?
Tube news.
I'm going to bring you the same word. Come on.
To that city. And having instructed many Talmudim.
He instructed many tall ones. Come on, what did he tell them?
They returned to Lystra and to Iconium.
That's right.
And to Antiochia.
To Antioch and Laconia. Come on.
Strengthening the lob of the Talmudim.
Doing what?
Strengthening the lob.
Strengthening. I'm fortifying the hearts of these people and telling them what?
Encouraging them.
And encouraging them. So what would he have used to strengthen them and to give them encouragement? The bar. Come on.
Encouraging them to continue in the Amunah.
I'm encouraging you that despite what it is that looks like this is against me, I'm encouraging you to keep going. Because this is where we're trying to go. Yeah. Don't get stuck on the things that get added and taken away. You saw they added so much to me, but then what did they do? They took something away. They kept trying to come against him. They kept trying to divide the people against him. They even beat this man so bad it was just like he was almost dead. So now, you know where he was at? He was at the point where it looked like, you know what? Let's take away 100. You thought I was dead. I was almost at nothing. But guess what happened? Come on.
And saying,
What did he tell them?
That it is only by much.
It's what?
It is only.
It's only. So that meant this the only way it's gonna happen. It ain't another way. It ain't another way. What is it? It's only what?
By much tribulation.
By just a little bit.
By much tribulation.
You know what? You know what's crazy? When Deuce gave us the small number, these were the little numbers that we had when we first started. These were our pluses. But everything that we're taking away, we're taking away by great numbers. He said that we by what?
That it is only by much tribulation.
It's only by much tribulation. It's only by a whole bunch of stuff that you're going to have to go through. It's only by a whole bunch of stuff that you're going to have to lose that you're going to do what?
We have to enter into the Malkuth of
That
the
now
Elohim.
we can enter in the Malkuth of Elohim by what? Through much tribulation, through much losses. You know what happened when they tried to go in the 11th chapter? You know what? How do Yahuah? Because I really was not going to go there. That didn't even come to my mind when we first started. But you know what? Everything that they thought they were going to do, they were all joined together. And they had all added things. Because they were trying to build a tower to go to where? To go to Shamayim. So guess what's in the Shamayim? Yahuah's Malkuth. So nothing that they had, they were never taking nothing away. They were all adding. So all adding. But guess what happened? They couldn't enter in that way because what did he tell them? He said you can do it that way. You can add and do it. You don't have to take no losses and you can probably make it.
That is, it is only by much
tribulation. It's
tribulation.
only by much tribulation. It's got to happen. If you think you're going to make it in and you're not going to suffer, you're not going to get there. If you think you're going to make it in and you're not going to take losses, you're not going to get there because it's the only way you're going to get it. Come on.
We have to enter into the Malkuth.
This is the only way you're going to get in. You're going to have to suffer. You're going to have to deny yourself. You're going to have to deny friends, family. You're going to have to lose money. You're going to have to lose things you love. You're going to have to separate from houses, your children. Everything that you have are going to be great losses. And you know what? The reason why you have these losses that you know what? Matter of fact, I'll tell you what. Guess what did preacher lose a whole bunch of? A whole bunch of money. What did preacher just tell you? He said every time after Shabbat, you know what my mind goes straight back to? Turning to try to figure out how he do what? How he can try to make some money. And what did Yahuah take from him? Why do you think he took it from him? Why do you think Yahuah take the thing that he take from you? Because that's how you're going to get your much tribulation. You look at it and you'll say, I don't know if I can still stand if I lost $1 million. Guess why? That was his much tribulation. He also lost his daughter. Guess what? You know, he told her, he said, that's my baby girl. You know why? Because there was a special place in his heart for those things. So guess what Yahuah did? I'm going to touch it. I'm going to touch it. The preacher talked about it the other day. He talked about the analogy with the cake that you had at school, how special that cake was. Guess what preacher little cake was? His money, his daughter, his health. That's why Yahuah touches these things. Guess where your little cake is? Guess where your little soft spot, your sweet spot is? Everything he touched. And you know why he touches it? So that way through much tribulation you can do what, Akidaval?
Enter into the Malkuth of the Elohim.
So now the thing is I can get stuck on what I lost. I can get stuck on the minus 92. I can get stuck on the minus 100. Because before we took away 100, we was at what? We was at 100 because these two counted out. My math teacher helped me out with that one on the spot. See, that's how good of a teacher he is. My math teacher taught me this, so now I lost another 100, right? So now where am I at if I lost this other 100? I'm at 0. But guess what? If Yahuah comes back and he adds something to me again, guess what? I can get back at 100. So now I've lost nothing because I've achieved that level of perfection. That was more math bars, but they didn't catch it. Go ahead and give me Romans chapter 8 and 18. Matter of fact, give me 8 and 28, I think it is.
Yes, sir.
Listen to the book.
For the creation was subjected to vanity, not from willingness, but because of him who subjected it, not in the absence of tikva, that the creation itself also shall be delivered from its bondage to corruption, into the freedom of the kabod of the benim of Elohim. For we know that the whole creation groans and travails the pain together until now.
He said what, Akijahi?
For we know that the whole creation groans and travails the pain together until now.
All these things, all the pain and the travail. Come on.
And not only this, but that also we, although according to the month that we have the first pari of the Ruach, grown within our Nafash, waiting eagerly for our adoption
We
as
all have things that we suffer within our basar. We all have things that we suffer within our own flesh. But what are we waiting eagerly for?
for our adoption as Benin.
We're waiting on our conversion. You know, preacher just talked about yesterday, talked about going from that abide and then becoming the ben. Because he told you in the 4th chapter of the book of Galatians that the heir, as long as he is a child, differs nothing from what? He differed nothing from a servant, but he's under tutors and governors until the time appointed of who? Of the Abba. He told you, even so we. The thing is when you look at the stuff that happens against you, it's only until what? Until the time appointed of the Father, where I transfer and I no longer become an Asbad, but I become who? I become a Ben. And that's what he told you, waiting on the adoption of who? We waiting on our adoption. And that adoption will make us who? That'll make us sons. That'll make us his sons and his daughters. Now we become heirs together. Now we become inheritors based upon our relationship changing, based upon our status changing. And if I'm going to be a Ben, the Benin, the children of Elohim, I'm going to have to obey the Father. Yeah. Come on.
Waiting eagerly for our adoption as Benin, the redemption of our bodies.
Waiting who?
Eagerly.
Waiting eagerly. So I'm waiting with anticipation. So guess what's going to happen when it becomes fulfilled? You're going to see me spring into action. Just like the young man that was lame from the time he was born, who had never walked. But he told you that once he got that healing, once he gained the activity and the mobility of his feet, guess what he began to do? He said, hold on, wait, you know what I'm saying? Give me a second. I'm going to get up in a minute. I appreciate this. You give me a little while, I'll be able to walk later on. Because I've been waiting eagerly upon this, now that you give, I spring into action. That's what you need to be doing. So every time you come in and hear the word is coming in to give you an ability. The word has become to take away the things that cause you to be separated from him, cause you to take away the things that cause you to not achieve that level of perfection. Take away the things that come in to block you. And the thing is, a lot of stuff that we get added to us, those things really come in to be able to block us. Yeah. If I'm trying to get there, but I keep adding on so much stuff, I'm like, man, I packed this stuff because I felt like these things were of value to me, so I'm going to take it with me. But as I go along the way, I start to realize I can hold on to these things that I thought was of value, but it's going to hinder me. Yeah. My greater goal above the things that I have is where I'm trying to go. So you know what I'll start to do? I got to drop that. And then when I go a little bit further, you know what happened? I got to drop that. So now I'm constantly dropping things. I'm constantly separating myself from things that I once loved. And these aren't things that didn't have value. These are things of value. I knew I was going on a journey, but I took them because I felt like it was going to help me. It can go with me. But as I go along the way, I realized you can't go with me. And I don't get the chance to pick and choose what it is that I'm going to let go of. But I tell you what, if I got something in my bag and it's heavy, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to let go of the lightest thing. I'm going to let go of the heaviest thing. And a lot of times, the heaviest thing that's in us, the heaviest thing that we got with us, are the things that we love. Yeah. So guess what? So then you know what I'd be a fool to do? I'd be a fool to waste time crying about, man, I got these bricks. Cause when I got there, I was going to build a house, but I don't want to let these bricks go. I got to let it go because I'm trying to go somewhere. Would I rather take the chance of not making it, or would I make sure that I make it and I just let go of you? That's why he told you, lay aside every who? And the what? That does so what? That so easily beset us, that so easily block us, that so easily get in the way of what it is, where we are, and where we're trying to go. And you know what I don't get to do? I don't get to pick and choose what it is. My heart already chose what it was that was on me. So because I loved it so much, I got to be good with the fact of I might have to let these things go. So this is what you got to do. Jump back over what I had you at in the book of Acts, the 14th chapter of the book of Acts.
Yes, sir. Verse 23.
Verse 23. Give me verse 21 again. Listen to the book.
And having brought the tube news to that city, and having instructed many disciples.
You know what? Preaching and telling people about how much you're going to lose, that don't seem like good news, do it? But if I tell you that if you lose it, you can get perfection. It's the best news you could ever get. Yeah. Come on.
They returned to Lystra and Iconium and to Antiochia, strengthening the law of the Talmudim.
Strengthening the law with the Talmudim, strengthening the law with those who have already been taught. So the thing is, this you know what, this is why we're here. Though these people had already been taught, their laws weren't at their full level of strength. Though they had been taught, though we all come in and get taught, it's going to be some situations that going to cause us to be like, we're going to start to feel weak. We're going to have to start to feel a little bit of weakness in our hearts, a weakness in our minds. But guess what he used? He used the things that he suffered. He used the things that he was able to explain and expound upon to them. That's the same thing. You know, we read about in the book, we don't keep reading about a whole bunch of people who kept gaining and gaining and gaining. We read about a whole bunch of people who lost. And we look at, okay, though they lost, look what they were able to achieve and accomplish. So now when I look at the things that I lose, you know what I realize? I can still achieve and accomplish. Just because I lost don't make me a loser. Yeah. Because if I lost, but I still win in the end, I'm a winner. I got the biggest win you can ever get because we through what? I keep the vow.
Strengthening the lob of the Talmudim, encouraging them to continue in the Amunah, and saying that.
And saying who?
That.
And saying that. Saying that what?
It's only by much tribulation.
It's only by much tribulation. You know how crazy it is that I strengthen your heart and I strengthen your mind to keep going by telling you that you're going to lose? Yeah. But guess what? That's not why I stopped at. We through much tribulation what?
We have to enter into the Malkuth of the Elohim.
That's how we're going to get there. Don't get stuck on what the race look like. Get your mind stuck on the finish line. Get your mind stuck on what's on the other side. So that way, when I'm going through and it get a little bit hard, that's not why I stop. My endurance, I can endure beyond this. I can endure beyond the things that I'm going through. I can endure beyond the things that I'm losing. I can endure beyond this sickness. I can endure beyond this loss. I can endure beyond this separation. You know why? Because after I get through all these losses, it's going to get me to that perfection. You know what Ehud told you? He said that he was going to come forth as what? Gold what? Yeah, tried by the fire. Well, Kazum will tell you that. But Ehud told you that after he got through, he was going to come forth as pure gold. You know what? Matter of fact, in the first chapter of the book of Ehud chapter 101, you know what it told you about Ehud? It told you that there was a certain man in the land of Uts. They called it the land of Uz. And it told you that he was what? What did it told you about him? He told you he was perfect in what? He thought he was a perfect man and he was upright. And then what happened all after that? Matter of fact, that's how it starts. The whole book starts out by telling you about how perfect and how upright this man is. And guess what the whole rest of the book is about? Losses, persecution. What's his name mean? Persecuted. So a man that was perfect had to take so much persecution, had to take so many losses to get him to what? To get him to perfection. So I thought I was perfect before. That's the thing. A lot of times you look like you perfect. You look like you, okay, well, look how much I've accomplished. No, baby, I got a lot more for you. I got something better for you. All you got to do is just be minded on the goal. So that way when you come through, you know what you'll keep being minded on? The goal. You'll stay minded on what's on the other side. Because we through much tribulation can do what?
We have to enter into the Malkuth of the Elohim.
That's how we're going to get in that Malkuth. That's how we're going to get our name. So right now, while you still got breath in your body, while you still have opportunity, while you still have been given information prevalent to salvation, if you use it, you can use it when you endure. You can use it when you're going through even your successor. So I know that, hey, while he got me up right now, matter of fact, you know what he told you? He told you in the day of prosperity to do what? He told you in the day of prosperity to rejoice. But he told you in the day of adversity to do what? To consider. You know why? Because I know that though he tore me down, he can build me back up. Though I'm going through right now, I can gain again. Because if I'm praising him when I'm up, who am I giving the praise to? I'm giving the praise to Yahuah. You know why? Because I know he gave it to me. So when I'm down, I got to know who it come from. It all came from Yahuah. I can't faint. I can't faint when I'm down, and I can't forget about him when I'm up. That's why he said, don't make me too poor and don't make me too rich. Because it's all about getting to that perfect balance. And despite however my situation or circumstance look, however it goes and feels to me at that time, I had to keep my mind stayed on him because I know it all comes through him. He told you that every good and perfect gift come from who? Come from Yahuah. My help come from him. The first thing he told you was every good and perfect gift come from him, right? That's my time of rejoicing. Then he told you that my help come from who? Yahuah. So that meant that he gave me to me when I was good, and who gonna need help but somebody who is down? Why would I need help if I'm up? But the thing is, we don't see that. We don't see the duality of what he's trying to tell us the whole time. We get so stuck on the good part. But you don't realize I'm with you when you're up, and I'm with you when you're down. But the only way I can be with you is if you do what? If you be with him. That's my time. How do you, Yahuah?
You listening to Dr. Evie.